What's up, everyone? You're listening to an episode of Thorn in Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorn. This is the podcast where I talk about information and opinions, both popular and unpopular, related to random topics, both serious and non-serious. And feel free to listen because it needs to be said. Besides, you already pressed the play button. So relax, listen to my voice, and prepare to be entertained and informed. Hello everybody. I'm just thinking about Lizzie B. She was my guest from last time. She was so enchanting and funny. I love that. In fact, I'm thinking about taking her to the movies, but not sure which one to see. There's that Super Mario Bros. Movie, but I don't know. It looks like a really good movie, and I love playing the games, but there was something that happened behind the scenes that bothered me. At first, I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, but the more I thought about it, it became a bigger deal. Anyway, when I first found out that a Super Mario Bros. Movie was being made, I knew it was somewhat naive to expect the voice cast in the movie to be the same as the voice cast from the games. But I kept believing. After all, wouldn't it make sense for people who voice certain characters in a video game for years to also voice them in the first computer animated movie for the franchise? That makes sense, right? It makes absolutely perfect sense, right? I thought it did, but I keep forgetting something that's quite unfortunate. Veteran voice actors are almost never recruited to voice the main characters of an animated movie being released in theaters. And that's not fair at all. So, to all the fans of animation, video games, puppets, as well as the animation studios and movie studios, I don't mean to be a thorn in your side, but people in the voice acting field deserve better treatment. More specifically, we need to start appreciating and respecting full-time voice actors and actresses, especially the veterans. Just in case some of you don't know, voice actors are people who lend their voices to fictional characters. It's the people who bring life to our favorite cartoon characters and video game characters just by, well, talking. It's essentially the same as acting, but with only your voice. You probably won't see voice actors that often since they're usually behind the scenes. But if you like watching cartoons or playing video games, then guess what? All that verbal dialogue is thanks to the awesome people who provide it. First off, I love the Super Mario franchise. I've been playing those games for the majority of my life. And I would have to say my favorite game ever is... Let's go with Super Mario Galaxy 2, which came out for the Nintendo Wii around 13 years ago. Whew. Man, that's a long time ago. I was quite young. There's so many things I love about that game, and it's probably the best game in the franchise. In fact, I know it's the best game in the franchise because Yoshi is in it. But I digress. Well, as someone who's an actual fan that plays the Super Mario games, I was expecting for maybe a few of the video game voice casts to be featured in the movie. Not all of them, but definitely the people who voice the main characters, or at least Mario himself. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. When the voice cast was revealed last year, none of the video game voice cast was shown. Huh? You mean to tell me that the voice actors who've been voicing those Mario characters in the video games for years won't be voicing them in the movie that's based on the games? What kind of nonsense is that? That brings up several questions and concerns. But the main question is this. Were the video game voice cast offered the roles of voicing their characters in the movie? The man who voices both Mario and Luigi, Charles Martinet, was he ever approached by anyone to voice his characters in the movie? The woman who voices both Toad and Princess Peach, Samantha Kelly, was she ever given the choice to voice her characters in the movie? I'd like an answer to those questions. After all, Charles Martinet has been Mario's only voice actor in the games for over 2 decades. Samantha Kelly is Princess Peach's third voice actress, but has been voicing her for over a decade. Everyone who plays the games are used to these voices, including me, especially me. So it would have been great to hear them while watching the movie. Not surprisingly, a bunch of people, mainly fans of the Super Mario games, were annoyed that none of the video game voice cast, such as Charles Martinet and Samantha Kelly, are voicing their characters in the movie. Instead, it's a bunch of random celebrities doing it. I don't blame the fans for acting like this because the movie is another reminder of how Hollywood and the movie industry as a whole don't value full-time voice actors that much. Understand this, everybody. Voice actors figuratively pour their heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into bringing our favorite characters to life. Video game characters, cartoon characters, anime characters, puppets, and other live-action creatures such as Barney and Lamb Chop. Yep, that's right. I remember Lamb Chop. I was a big fan of that show with no shame whatsoever. This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because it is a song that doesn't end. Yes, it... I digress. Very catchy song. But anyway, these people work hard to bring life to our favorite characters, and their efforts usually end up making those characters really popular and likable. There are cartoons and video games that are awesome mainly, if not only, because of the amazing voice cast. There's a video game that might be boring and full of glitches, but the amazing voice cast makes you tolerate all that. There's a cartoon that might have an awful art style and a plot that makes no sense whatsoever, but that amazing voice cast makes it worth watching. Due to the impressive efforts of the voice cast, the cartoon and or video game is popular and successful enough to spawn an animated or computer animated movie. Yet, the voice actors that made those characters, if not the whole franchise, so popular and successful in the first place, aren't given the opportunity to voice their characters in the first theatrical movie? That's 140% bonkers. In case you forgot, I ain't trying to be a thorn in your side. But voice actors deserve better treatment, as well as better opportunities. If they voice a certain character in a cartoon or video game, it only makes sense for them to have the opportunity to voice him or her in the movies. We can hear cartoon characters because of them. We can hear video game characters because of them. We can hear puppets because of them. They play a major role in the entertainment industry, as well as our childhood, because I'm sure most of us watched cartoons while growing up, right? I know I did. Cartoons were awesome and much more innocent. The Super Mario Bros. Movie isn't the only movie in recent years to neglect veteran voice actors for celebrities. A good example is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the second movie, not the game with the same name. It was a live-action movie, but there were some voice roles. In the movie, Sonic, the main character, is voiced by a celebrity named Ben Schwartz, instead of his video game voice actor, Roger Craig Smith. Knuckles is voiced by Idris Elba, who we all know is a cool, popular celebrity, instead of Travis Willingham, who voices Knuckles in the game. And then you have Tails, who's voiced by Colin. Whoa! Huh? This has to be a typo. It says here that Tails was voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy in the movie. But that's his current voice actress in the games. Are you trying to tell me that his voice actress from the games was able to voice him in a big budget movie? Oh, bravo. Bravo, casting director. Bravo. And I don't mean the channel. Man, those reality shows are interchangeable and trashy. But I digress. Honestly, I was shocked when I found out that a veteran voice actress was going to voice a major character in a theatrical movie. But that's the problem. Something like that shouldn't be shocking. It should be both normal and expected, because that's what voice actors are supposed to do. They voice characters. This tells me that if movie studios actually cared about voice actors, as well as the fans of the source material, then they could easily keep the existing voice cast intact, which would make the fandom rejoice. My final point is that if you seriously believe that voice actors and actresses aren't real celebrities, and it's completely okay for them to get passed over in favor of other celebrities when it comes to voicing characters in major movies, especially their own characters that they're known for, then you should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, I'm serious. Just like the rest of us, voice actors are people who are doing a job in order to make a living. No, they're not out in the open or in the public eye, but they're still making a huge difference in the entertainment industry. Voicing a character in a major movie means a bigger paycheck, right? Wouldn't it be nice if voice actors were able to voice their characters on the big screen? I'm sure that some, if not all, of the English voice cast for the Super Mario games would have loved to portray their characters in the movie, even if their characters normally don't have verbal dialogue, like Bowser. In the games, all he mainly does is growl, grunt, and roar. Still, just imagine how much money this movie is going to make. It's the flagship franchise from Nintendo, so it's probably going to break a few box office records, which makes it even more unfair that the video game voice cast won't be part of this. And no, cameos don't count. Not sure if people still say this, but a certain phrase and advice comes to mind when I think about all the fans who don't approve of the Mario movie cast. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Once again, don't hate the player, hate the game. In other words, Don't get mad at the movie cast for accepting these roles that were obviously offered to them. Instead, get mad at the fact that this practice has been going on for years. I hate to say it, but veteran voice actors getting shafted from major voice roles in movies in favor of well-known celebrities has been happening for a long time, and it's still expected nowadays. I just wish it wasn't. If I was a voice actor who voiced a character for 20 plus years, if my voice performance is the main reason why that character is so popular, if that character's popularity contributes heavily to the success and longevity of the whole franchise, then regardless of your thoughts and your feelings, I deserve to voice that character in his or her first theatrical movie. It's completely fair. I honestly would be annoyed if a random celebrity got to voice my character in a big budget movie, especially if I wasn't approached or offered the role at all. My voice work is the main reason why this character, if not the whole franchise, is so popular in the first place. Whether it's games, cartoons, visual novels, movies, or whatever, I should always have first priority when it comes to voicing my character, especially if I've been doing it for such a long time. The entertainment industry needs to start giving voice actors and actresses the respect, opportunity, and recognition they deserve. I absolutely hope that movies in the future, both animated and live action, will start prioritizing career voice actors for major voice roles because it makes perfect sense. And it'll encourage everyone to pay attention and care about the people providing voices for our favorite fictional characters. Then again, why wait? Let's start now. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Thorn in Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorn. Feel free to follow, subscribe, like, share, comment, tweet, react, and all that other good stuff. And there'll be another extremely epic episode next week. And remember, be smart and stay sharp.